Good evening, America, and those listening around the world. It's time for The Conservative Syndicate with your host, John Matthews, self-ordained, politically incorrect, mad prophet of the airways. The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most knowledgeable activists and pundits today that together seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement with those seeking the truth regarding the similarities and differences between the religion of politics and the politics of religion.
Well, by getting on Larry King and telling everybody I'm a Christian, and I wasn't raised in a Muslim home.
Americans have Muslims in their families or have lived in a Muslim majority country. I know because I am one of them. As a boy, I spent several years in Indonesia and heard the call of the azan at the break of dawn. But I have known Islam on 3 continents before coming to the region where it was first revealed. That experience guides my conviction.
Unless we get on our high horse and think this is unique to some other place, remember that during the Crusades and the Inquisition, people committed terrible deeds in the name of Christ.
At what point does a baby get human rights, in your view?
Well, I think that whether you're looking at it from a theological perspective or a scientific perspective, answering that question with specificity, is above my pay grade. I've got 2 daughters, 9 years old and 6 years old. I'm going to teach them, first of all, about values and morals. But if they make a mistake, I don't want them punished with a baby. As long as we've got to fight to make sure women have access to quality, affordable health care, and as long as we've got to fight to protect a woman's right to make her own choices about her own health, I want you to know that you've also got a president who's going to be right there with you, fighting every step of the way. Thank you, Planned Parenthood. God bless you. Hey, all you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
And now, your host, John Matthews.
Okay, hey, greetings out there all across this great land of ours and around the world. It is that time. It's time for the Conservative Syndicate coming to you live right now. Out here from the old left coast, I am your host, John Matthews, mad prophet of the airways, on a mission from God. And that mission is to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. We've got a good show for you lined up today. We're going to have a special guest, Chris Ann Hall from the Chris Ann Hall Show. And she's a national speaker on the Constitution. She's going to come on in her second hour. She'll be talking with Joe Hakels, my co-host, who's with me also right now. And we're going to have a pretty good discussion here, not only on the Constitution, but on the open letter that she sent out to Trey Gowdy, who seems to think that at this point in time, Hillary Clinton, I guess, is exempt from all investigations or observation. Or I guess she's become untouchable in the eyes of people like Gowdy, who came into Congress, ready to kick butt and take names and do everything else. So that's going to be good. In the first hour here, we're just going to cover an array of things. But before we get any further into the show, my co-host, and partner in crime, Joe Hakels from Dry Report. How you doing tonight, Joe?
I am wonderful, John. It's a happy Monday. I'm glad. Hopefully, we already had a weekend to recharge and get ready. And I was looking at our archives and having a good time, and just ready to start the week out. We're going to have fun tonight. It's going to be a great time, and looking forward to having Chris Ann on and talking about those other things that tweak our brains here on a constant daily basis. Brought to us by our exciting friends on the other side, that the lunatic side. No, yeah, well, they're loony. Yeah, I'll give them that. They have an opinion, but that's okay.
Yeah. So why don't we just do this? Take a few minutes here and explain to the audience here how you came across Chris Ann Hall.
Chris Ann, Well, Chrisanne was a state prosecutor, worked in an attorney's office here, and I'll let her explain what happened with that. But Chrisanne had been on the radio here and there, and I've heard her talk on the radio here locally, and I know she's been traveling quite a bit. And she goes across and teaches, just gives talks about the Constitution and what's going on in the government, what's happening with this or that, different examples of what's happening. And I saw that she had written a letter to Mr. Gowdy, and it kind of tweaked me, and especially some of the responses that I saw she was getting were kind of going, wow, that's different. And knowing Chrisanne from hearing her talk and everything, I was just kind of curious of what I just thought maybe we could give her an opportunity if she would want to take it to come on and have her explain it, and maybe we can glean some things going on, because she looks at it from a completely different point of view than most of us do, because being an attorney and such, she has a better understanding of the legal ramifications and what's supposed to be happening constitutionally, far much better than I ever do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's one of the things that I think some of us are very guilty of, more than we would admit, actually, is the idea that, there are so many in America today that run around using the Constitution as the basis for any argument they want to make against anything they don't agree with.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you hear from people all the time, the Constitution gives me the right to this. Well, no, the Constitution doesn't give you any rights. God gave you that right.
Right.
And the Constitution just kind of protects that particular right.
Yeah, and even on our side of the aisle, we have a lot of people that are out there say, well, the Constitution, they can't do that. It violates the Constitution, when in fact, in some cases it doesn't, And so this is what it is. It just comes from this evolution. I like using that word a lot these days. The evolution of ignorance in our country, that people just have their own idea what we mean when we talk about freedom and liberty and Constitution and law and civil society and rights and civil rights and all these things. The words are being interchanged and redefined so many ways that people just kind of, I think that's why we're in this era of just relative truth. It is whatever we want it to mean on any given day.
Exactly.
It's almost that way,
Yeah, that's exactly. It's fun to use that word liberty, because that's one of the things Chrisanne is good for. She is a true defender of liberty. She will state exactly what it should be, and let you take from it what you will, because a lot of people, like you said, think they know about it, but what they know isn't exactly what it really is. They just think they know.
Well, yeah, that's really. I mean, if we look at this issue that's coming up here before the Supreme Court right now, which we'll talk about later on during the show here. But the issue of homosexual marriage is now being approached from a federal level because states have had. What do you want to call them? What do you call those things? Laws. They've had laws.
Truly, John, that's what the Constitution is. It's the supreme law of our nation.
Okay, and let me address that comment this way, because this is something that was actually asked to me by somebody. Actually was asked to me by a liberal, and it was an honest question. He actually asked me and told me the reason I'm asking is because I don't truly know. And what he was asking me was, we were talking about the issue of the homosexual marriage agenda. And, he's one of these people that believes, well, people can do whatever they want to do. It's fine with me, don't hurt me, do whatever you want, that kind of thing. And, and I had made some statements about, it seems like there's this double standard in the application of law and everything. And he brings up the Constitution and he says, oh, I know what it was. We were talking about the 4 MSNBC commentators that are all up on tax evasion charges right now. And I had mentioned, and so he was asking me about the idea of taxes. He's saying, well, I don't know what the big deal is about the taxes because of the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. So I had to point out to him, well, there is nothing in the Constitution about taxes. And I said, when the Constitution was originally written, there was no law of the land in terms of gathering of taxes. All it said is that states had the right to ask their residents to pay taxes.
Yes.
And that was voluntary. There was no mandatory thing. It wasn't until 1912 when the IRS was created that we had mandatory taxes. And we got into the idea of fair share. He was trying to ask me, well, where in the Constitution is the concept of fair share mentioned? And I said, it isn't mentioned. That's the whole point. I said, what you've got here, you've got 4 MSNBC pundits who on their shows on a regular basis talk about taxing more the top 1%. At least one of these commentators is in that 1%. That would be the Reverend Al Sharpton. Who
hasn't paid taxes?
Who owes $4.5 million in back taxes. Melissa Harris Perry, is that her name? She's
the one that would put feminine hygiene products and make earrings out of them.
She's the one that believes in redistribution. That when people pay more taxes, history shows that we do better economically. Well, she's in the hole for $70,000. There's a couple of other ones, but the point I was making was that all 4 of these commentators are liberals. All 4 of them rant and rave about the need for more taxes. All 4 of them are delinquent, and all 4 of them are black. And so I was making this correlation. So what I said to him was, look, this is the deal. What the Constitution says about taxes is very vague. It's just the states can collect taxes. They can ask their people to pay taxes. There was no government mandate to pay taxes. The other issue is that when you start talking about this concept of fair share, I said, let's go back to that time when the Constitution was written. Slaves didn't pay taxes. Okay? And so what you have is people who now claim to be free refusing to do what they want everybody else to do. I said, to me, that's its own brand of racism. Now, the other thing was the Constitution doesn't make laws. The Constitution sets the parameters by which state and federal government can make laws, the authority that they've been given through the Constitution. So this whole idea of the federal government even creating the IRS in the first place is a violation of the Constitution because they were never given the authority to do that.
Exactly. And that was a big discussion back in the early part of the last century when all this was going down.
Yeah.
But we saw who won out, though.
Well,
those who believe that the Constitution is a living, breathing document,
right.
And the founders obviously never would have anticipated the things that were going on in modern society.
And that's even the bigger point. The idea that this is what all this is about. When you cut away all the trimmings and all the glamour and all the decorations and all the rhetoric and all the talk and all the propaganda, this is really about taking a document that was created, for lack of a better phrase, written in stone. This is the way government should run. This is the way self-imposed government should run. A government by the people, for the people. We create laws and we agree to follow those laws and within the parameters of authority set within our Constitution. And these guys, the leftist agenda is all about redefining that and making the document a living document that changes with the social flow of things, I guess.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, it's the culture changes. It's like we've gone from a republic that has established laws and that maintain a civil society to Rome being ruled by the mob.
Yeah, well, which is classically called a democracy.
Right, and it's changing it from a set parameter to whatever we feel like doing today is okay kind of thing, And I don't know, whenever I talk about this, I often flash back to the old Woody Allen movie, Sleeper, where he comes out of his sleep after 200 years, goes in to get appendix removed, and somehow ends up being frozen for 200 years, and comes back, and what does he find out? He finds out that chocolate and cigarettes are the 2 best things you can put in your body. That's kind of like what I think of how liberals think. It's like what is good today is